SCM overview and IBP overview, the APO versus IBP, because IBP is nothing but like the replacing the existing SAP APO system, and what are the capabilities are there in IBP, and the IBP modules. These are the IBP modules. We are going to see the high level all the module information, and then there are some add-ons like a work zone or SAP job, and how this is going to be integrated, and some sample screens, and our question and answers. Hmm. So these are all we are going to cover part of this overview session. And in between, I will stop you. So maybe if anyone have any questions, you can ask the questions in that place. So I will stop you in between for the question and answers. Yeah. Okay. So before you are going to enter into the SAP IBP, so first you should have some like a basic knowledge of the supply chain planning or supply chain management. So basically the supply chain management is nothing but like a, so the flow of a demand and supply, and it's going to be cover all the detailed tasks into this demand and supply flow. It means, for example, the customer want to buy something. Say for example, you want to buy some car, so you may go to the dealer. Hmm. So dealer will get the car from the a depot, and depot they will get the car from the manufacturer. Say for example, Tata Motor, they are manufacturing the car in the Pune plant, and across India they have the different distribution centers. So they will keep a stock there, and from there they are going to sell to their dealers, and from the dealer finally it is going to reach to the end customer. Again, to make that car they need some components like maybe tires, batteries, and maybe some other accessories and all. They are not going to produce it, so they will procure from the vendors or suppliers. So based on the number of cars they want to manufacture, they will procure the component from the vendors, and then they will manufacture the car. Then they will supply to the distributor. Distributor will supply to the retailer. Finally, it will reach to the customers. So this is the way your demand is going to be flow, and this is the way your supply is going to flow. So in this demand and supply, so the total this demand and supply end-to-end process, we can call it as a supply chain management. So here there are a lot of activities are there. Say for example, simply the Tata Motors, they will not manufacture simply a number of cars. So they want to know how many we are going to sell in the future. According to that only they will manufacture it. Otherwise, simply they will manufacture some X quantity. So for example, they sold only 50 percentage. So they maintain the over inventory as a 50 percentage. Or they manufacture some X quantity, but they got the sales order maybe some 2x. Then they are not able to supply. So if they are not able to supply, customer may go for the other product or competitor product. So that is the reason. So the companies, so they should not maintain the over inventory. Then it is going to be loss making company. In the same time, they should not miss any customer demands. So to effectively manage their overall supply chain, so definitely they need some tool. So that like what I have to manufacture in the future, I need to forecast it. I need some tool to forecast it, what I am going to sell in the future. According to that, I can manufacture it. And to manufacture also, like what machines are required, when is required, how many components required, when I required, to whom I need to order, when I need to order. So about your manufacturing, about your procurement, and how much stock I need to keep in this depot. Hmm? So when I need to keep in the depot. So these are all like there are a lot of processes are there, like your forecast, your procurement, your manufacturing, your distribution. There are a lot of processes are there. So if you take a global company, so they have thousands of products manufacturing and n number of manufacturing plants, and they have a number of customers, a number of like vendors, a number of depots. So to effectively manage their entire supply chain, okay, to not to be over inventory and to not to be missing any customer service levels, like optimize the inventory and maximize the customer service. So this is the key to run any successful supply chain company. So to do that one, so definitely they need some software to do this entire planning, because this is going to be millions of records in the real time. So they cannot manage with Excel, they cannot manage manually and all. So definitely they need some software to do this planning and all. So this is nothing but like a planning tool. So for that one, earlier we have SAP APO, Advanced Planning and Optimization. So now the technology is changing and the expectations are changing and business strategies are changing. So that is the reason like SAP thought, okay, this APO is not going to be support for the new supply chain or new generation of the supply chain planning. So that is the reason what they planned it. They are planning to retire the SAP APO. They given the date 2028. Then they asked the clients, okay, so you can use the new tool as a IBP, integrated business planning. It's going to be completely replacing SAP existing supply chain tool as a APO. So now APO is going to be completely retired and the new tool is going to be SAP IBP for planning, for supply chain planning. So for that one, like already they given this software long back, but initially when any software come, it will take some time to fix the issues and all. So now it is going to be more stable actually, this IBP. So now a lot of companies started implementing this one and you can find a lot of opportunities in the market. Hmm? Because the problem is the existing APO, new people are not coming because the people knows that is going to be retire the tool. So that's why new people are not coming, and existing APO people are moving to the IBP. So, and IBP is a new tool. So in the market, they are not able to get the new. In the same time, the APO people already migrating. So their APO also one side reducing the projects and the other side these projects are going to be increased. So, and it's definitely it's going to be now huge demand in the market. And whenever we are entering some technology, so that we can make sure that the technology should be minimum another 15 or 20 years, or minimum 15 years should be there. Otherwise, for example, now I will enter some technology, after 2 to 3 years the technology will be retired. Again I need to learn something new. Again it may go after 2 3 years, again I need to learn. So over you get some experience, then definitely it is going to be very difficult keep on changing some technology. So since it is a new tool, so that even you can plan your retirement also, so next 15 years you don't really to worry about the change technology and all. So you can start in APO, there are a lot of modules. IBP, there are a lot of modules are there. Initially, you can start some module, then extend some module. Then like that in this IBP itself, there are if you learn all the modules and all, definitely you can able to survive next 15 years easily without any change the technology. Hmm? And it's a new tool, definitely going to give a lot of opportunities in the market. And it's a SAP, so we don't really to worry about the a company also. Hmm? So now, in IBP, the integrated business planning. So in IBP, so these are the modules are there. IBP is one product. Under this, we have the sub modules. So one is the sales and operation planning (S&OP). So basically, the S&OP is nothing but a high level of the demand planning and high level of the supply planning. These are the two modules are going to be covered. Say for example, earlier APO is a more expensive product. So that is the reason some small size companies are a below mid size company, they're not able to bear the cost of the APO. So that is the reason SAP realized it, okay, maybe for small size companies and below mid size companies also. So they may want to use SAP, but because of that price, they are not able to use it. But they don't really to require a lot of functionalities, because a product will give a lot of functionalities. Maybe the smaller size companies, they don't really require too many like a functionalities, they need some basic. So that is the reason what SAP did, they come up with this particular module, sales and operation planning, so that it is going to be covered the demand planning, it is going to cover the supply planning, and it is going to fit for small size companies. So and the rate also reasonable, so that now the small size companies are below mid size companies also, they can able to use the SAP IBP for their planning. But it's a bigger company, so definitely they are looking lot of maybe options, functionalities, etc. So definitely for that, to support for that one, so SAP given IBP demand planning is a separate module, and IBP supply response and supply is a separate module. So that you want to a deeper demand planning functionalities and supply planning functionalities. Then they can take additional license of IBP demand planning, additional license of IBP supply planning. So like that here, these are the three modules are going to cover IBP demand planning and IBP supply planning. What is the demand? What is the supply? We will discuss again. Then there is other module called as inventory optimization. So basically to calculate the safety stock, so this is the module as a inventory optimization. Hmm. And then the supply chain control tower, this is more into the reporting part. So now generally like when people are going to start implementing any software and all, so normally they may not go as a big bang. Big bang means they will not go implement everything in one shot. So initially they will go with the sales and operation, and once their team, their planners also comfortable and make sure that they are able to use it and all, then they will extend to implement the demand planning. Then they will extend to the implement the response and supply. Then they will extend to implement the inventory. Then they will extend to implement the supply chain control tower. Like that, maybe like the companies, they may keep some timelines for next 5 years. Okay, so we need to implement complete IBP like our global. Initially, they may start maybe in Europe or for few plants, or US for few plants. Later, they will extend to the other plants. Like that, totally they will cover their global supply chain with some tool. Generally, it may take some generally 5 years plan. Generally, all the companies. So like that first like for entry level, it's always good. Like you should know that sales and operation planning and demand planning. So once you work at some projects in IBP, then you can extend it to response and supply. Once you have some experience, then you can extend to the IO. Once you are experienced this one, then you can extend to the control tower. So maybe over a period of a time, you be good into this all the modules. So definitely next minimum 15 years, you can able to survey without any change in the technology, without change any product or etc. So you can able to work in any of the module in IBP. That is the way you can plan your career also. So now, like what exactly the advantage of this one is like so earlier APO have the database is a live cache. So they given that product in 90s. That time compared to the databases, that is performance wise good. But now the people are expecting like even the millions of records also. I want to immediately. And earlier, if I want to run some job, it may take some 2 to 3 hours. Now people are not going to wait for 2 to 3 hours to run some job. They want the job should be complete immediately. So it means they're expecting the performance. Like for example, maybe you are using the 3G, 4G, no 5G. So 3G time, when you are going to open any video, it is going to buffer a lot. You have to be a lot of patience to watch some videos and all. 4G, it's better at least. Maybe if the too much HDM quality and all, maybe it will be buffer sometime. Otherwise, you will continuously watch the movies. But 5G, so maybe you want to download a movie also, it may take just a minute. Maybe 5G, it may take 4G, it may take some, you need to wait for 10 minutes, or 3G, you need to wait for half an hour or 1 hour. So now the people expectations also going to be changed. It should be more faster. So the system should be more faster. When I am sitting in S&OP meeting, so my demand planning team, my supply planning team, my financial team, my operations team, they may suggest something. I may change my data and I want to run the new report, and I want to see the new report how it is going to be benefitable or and all to take my final decisions of my S&OP cycle and all. So definitely they cannot wait. So they want immediately the things. So that is the reason now SAP come with this IBP as a HANA based tool. It's a HANA memory. So it's very faster. It means so in APO demand planning, we used to run the forecast. Maybe it may take some 2 to 3 hours. Now in IBP, the forecast job is taking only 10 minutes. That much of difference in the tool. Hmm? So now they came with the HANA platform. It's like a more faster. And earlier, like the server and all, they need to maintain. Hmm? Now SAP